Most women will never hear the words they're desperately waiting for. You search his eyes for confirmation. Replay conversations in your mind at 3 a.m. Analyze every text for hidden meaning. Measure the space between his words. But here's what breaks my heart while you're searching for proof. In all these places, the truth has been whispering to you all along. When a man is deeply emotionally attached to you, only one sign reveals it. And it's not what anyone told you to look for. It's not in his words, not in his promises, not in his grand gestures or public displays. It lives in a space so subtle most women miss it entirely. I've watched countless women overlook this sign, dismiss it as coincidence, rationalize it away, convince themselves they're imagining things. Meanwhile, the man in front of them is screaming his attachment in the only language his heart knows how to speak. Before I reveal what this sign is, I need you to understand something that will change everything. The way men experience deep attachment doesn't mirror yours. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't perform. It doesn't seek validation. It exists in the quiet spaces between moments, in the invisible threads that connect two souls. And once you learn to recognize it, you'll never question his feelings again. Because this sign doesn't lie. It cannot be faked. It cannot be suppressed. It simply is. Here's the truth nobody prepared you for. When a man falls deeply, truly deeply, his heart doesn't know how to speak the language you've been taught to listen for. Society told you love sounds like poetry, looks like roses, feels like certainty. But masculine attachment whispers in a different dialect entirely. It speaks through presence, not words, through constancy, not declarations, through a gravitational pull he cannot name or control. Think about the man you're wondering about right now, the one who makes you question everything. Want you to stop listening to his words for just a moment. Stop analyzing his actions through the lens you've been given. Because what I'm about to share will crack open a truth you felt, but couldn't articulate. Deep male attachment creates an energetic tether, invisible but unbreakable. He might not text you every day, might not call you his girlfriend in public, might not post you on social media, might not say, "I love you" when you need to hear it. But if real attachment exists, something else happens. Something so consistent, it becomes its own language. And once you attune yourself to this frequency, everything he's been trying to tell you becomes crystal clear. So what is this one sign that never lies? Listen closely, because this changes everything you think you know about his feelings. When a man is deeply emotionally attached to you, his inner world becomes magnetically bound to yours. Not sometimes, not only when you're together, but always, even across distance, even across silence, even when logic says there's no way he could know. Your emotional shifts become his emotional weather, without explanation, without awareness, without his permission. This isn't about him being attentive during conversations. That's surface level. Anyone can do that. This goes deeper into the realm where souls touch, into involuntary territory, where the heart responds before the mind understands why. Here's how you recognize it. When your joy rises, even if you haven't spoken to him in days, something in him lifts. He reaches out with unusual lightness, texts you something playful, calls for no reason, smiles more without knowing why. When sorrow moves through you, even if you hide it perfectly from the world, something in him grows restless, agitated. He checks on you, asks if you're okay. Can't shake the feeling something's off. This isn't psychic ability. It's not coincidence. It's the signature of deep attachment. Two nervous systems learning to dance together. Two hearts beginning to beat in rhythm, and it happens whether he wants it to or not. Let me paint this more clearly for you, because recognizing this pattern eliminates every doubt you've been carrying. Scenario 1. You wake up feeling genuinely peaceful, content in your own skin, needing nothing from anyone, not performing happiness, actually embodying it. Watch what happens within hours, sometimes minutes. He contacts you. His energy matches yours. warm, open, present. He doesn't know why he felt pulled to reach out right then. He just did. Scenario 2. You're struggling, heartbroken about something unrelated to him. You tell no one. You maintain your composure. Publicly, you don't reach out. Suddenly he's there texting you. His message might be simple. Just checking in, thinking about you. You. Good. You cannot explain the impulse, but something told him you needed him. Scenario 3. You pull your energy back, not in games or manipulation, but genuinely redirecting your focus elsewhere. Within 24 to 48 hours, he feels it. His texts increase. His questions come. His pursuit intensifies. This happens so consistently, it stops being coincidence and becomes proof. If you've experienced this, if you're nodding right now recognizing these exact patterns, hit that like button. Subscribe to Psychology Routine, because what I'm about to reveal in part 5 explains why this connection can feel like both a gift and a wound, an understanding that changes everything. Here's where the truth becomes tender. This magnetic connection you share, this invisible thread, binding your hearts, it doesn't always feel the way love stories promised it would. Sometimes it aches, confuses, leaves. You're wondering why something so real can feel so unstable. You'd think this depth of connection would make him move closer, hold tighter, claim you openly, but often it does the opposite. And here's why. When a man feels his emotional world synchronized with yours, when your joy becomes his joy, your pain becomes his pain, your energy becomes his compass, it terrifies him. Not because he doesn't want it, but because wanting it this much threatens everything he's built his identity around. Independence, control, emotional autonomy, self-sufficiency. Suddenly, none of that belongs to him anymore. Suddenly his heart has developed a will of its own, responding to you, orienting around you, reorganizing itself to accommodate you, without his consent. So what does he do? He pulls away, not because the feelings diminished, but because they intensified beyond his capacity to manage them. He goes silent, not because you matter less, but because you matter so much it overwhelms him. He creates distance, not to hurt you, but to remember who he was before you became his emotional center. This is the paradox that breaks women's hearts daily. The deeper his attachment, the more erratic his behavior, the stronger the connection, the more dramatic the retreat, and you're left wondering if you imagined the whole thing. But you didn't. You felt it correctly. You just didn't understand what you were feeling. Now listen carefully, because this distinction matters more than anything. This emotional synchronization I'm describing, it's not neediness, not dependence, not the desperate clinging of insecurity. Those things feel different. Those things take, drain, demand. This is something else entirely. This is two souls recognizing each other. Two hearts finding their matching frequency. Two people discovering they breathe easier when the other breathes steady. Love that manipulates needs constant contact to survive. Real attachment exists peacefully across silence. Love that controls demands to know your every move. Real attachment trusts you in the spaces between. Love that obsesses makes you its entire world. Real attachment makes space for your whole life. Here's how you know the difference. When you set a boundary with attached love, he might struggle, might need time to adjust, but ultimately, he honors it because respecting you matters more than his comfort. When you set a boundary with obsession, it responds with rage, punishment, threats of abandonment, manipulation. The man who's deeply attached might drive you wild with his inconsistency, but underneath the chaos, you sense something steady, something that doesn't vanish when you say no, something that remains even when you walk away. Unhealthy patterns crumble under boundaries. Real attachment deepens because of them. So before you decide what to do with this connection, make sure you know which one you're holding, because one deserves your patience, the other deserves your departure. So here you are, understanding now what you've been sensing all along, recognizing the signs you thought you imagined, feeling validated in your knowing. of validation doesn't answer the harder question. What now? Because here's what I need you to hear. Recognizing his deep attachment doesn't mean accepting poor treatment. Feeling his connection doesn't require tolerating his inconsistency. Understanding his fear doesn't mean sacrificing your peace. He can be deeply attached and still not ready. He can feel everything and still be unavailable. He can have his heart synchronized with yours and still be unable to build the relationship. You need these truths can coexist. The connection is real, and you deserve better than what he's currently capable of giving. Both statements can be true simultaneously, so you have a choice to make, not about whether he feels it. You know he does now, but about whether what he feels is enough for what you need. Can you hold space for his process while honoring your own timeline? Can you stay open while maintaining your standards? Can you love him and choose yourself simultaneously? These aren't easy questions. There's no right answer that fits everyone. But here's what I know. You cannot love someone into readiness. You cannot patience someone into emotional availability. You cannot understanding someone into choosing you fully. You can only decide if the love that exists now, with all its limitations and contradictions, is enough for your heart to stay, or if you need to love him and leave him, holding both truths as you walk away. Let me leave you with this. The deepest attachments often speak the quietest. They don't announce themselves with fanfare, don't perform for audiences, don't need external validation to exist. They live in the space between. Words, in the pull you feel across distance, and the way your heart recognizes his before your mind confirms it. If you've experienced this synchronization with someone, you already know everything you need to know about his feelings. The question was never, does he feel it? The question is, will he rise to meet it? And while you're waiting for that answer, here's what I want you to remember. Your intuition about this connection isn't wrong. You're not crazy for sensing what he won't say. You're not imagining the invisible thread between you, but your knowing doesn't obligate you to wait. Your recognition of his attachment doesn't mean accepting less than you deserve. You can see him clearly, understand him deeply, feel the realness of what exists between you, and still choose yourself. Still walk away. Still demand more than potential. Because the most powerful thing about recognizing true attachment is that it frees you from the prison of uncertainty. You're no longer wondering if it's real. Now you're simply deciding if real is enough, and whatever you decide, you're not walking away from love, you're walking toward yourself. If this resonated deep in your bones, share it with someone who needs permission to trust what they feel. Comment below if you've lived this exact experience. Tell me your story, and remember, the heart that recognizes itself in another, that same heart knows when it's time to come home to itself. I'll see you in the next one.